Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving me a screen. My name is Gawel Solosky from Bengal University. I will talk about hydrothermal pretreatment, which is one of pretreatment used in biological science, uh, biological preparation of feed for both of uh, industries like biogas industry, pyrolysis, because it helps to prepare the waste to simpler organic compounds and stimulates recyclability and recovering some substances that can be separated from the general stream and used in other way, also in the pharmacy. The HMF is one of such compounds if we use to hydrothermal of lignocellulose, for example, the then which is used in pharmacy and in food as a food nutrition. The another is uh, the oil quality, for example. If we obtain, for example, from bark and wood waste, the bark and wood waste are difficult to be digested as as uh, as raw material, because if you see they have several compounds that when living plant is living one, they protect the plant from being eaten by animals or by weather conditions, so saving. In case when the plant becomes a waste, as in then the bark and wood waste, like for example after cutting. This contains many phenolic compounds that can be very useful for for uh, paintings, for uh, furniture, but are very dangerous if come outside industry and needed to be utilized separately because this, they are very toxic for many organisms. Of course, there are some compounds, but theirs need to be by special biological way. Therefore, we should it firstly isolate. Therefore, the hydrothermophilic pretreatment, which is using for treatment water in special conditions. The water is you heat it up to even for 500 degrees and is usually compressed in case of supercritical hydrothermal pretreatment. In case when we using this steam, because after 100 degrees it uses temperature up to usually 180, which solve cellulose. So this method allows to solve from the plant lignocellulose compound that is most useful for uh, biological utilization and keep the lignin. Similarly is with a special tail, which is bark and wood. The hydrothermal can be is up to 350, for example, fractions. And the trouble of is always the proper equipment, which needs to be very carefully designed, unless it will remove. It is used also, as I mentioned, also to algas. Every compounds, every biomass is useful, and use it used also as to produce fuels from them. The fuels will utilize the waste and will give some replacement for traditional compound, traditional way of obtaining fuels, and it is the more green way. However, in fact, it's the same because we use the fresh biomass while the oil is a kind of biomass, pre-medieval biomass that still stay for a million years and is by this time pretreated into a form that people find easy way to be very efficient energy carrier and heat carrier and raw material source. Therefore, in case of lignocellulose, leads to formation of many compounds, especially every proportion, especially if we add some oxygen, nitrogen. If the trouble is that in the case of lignocellulose, the biggest is oxygen, unlike the sewage stage, which is much compounds with nitrogen. The yield is and calorific value of obtained such fuel is the relevant problem because we have to isolate the compounds to theirs that are very high values. The bark the wood waste that is used, it depends of content of cellulose, lignin, and hemicellulose. Therefore, most trees are from 20 to 50 years. The younger contain too much lignin and are not so desired in this case. So we need to HDL is also that has advantage that in this treatment is using water but as a physical way, so we don't need to use catalysts which are very expensive in case of heat treatment for fastening the process. Such bioalways has quite after this has species in case of water ethanol gives phenolic compounds of quite high value. Therefore, is is used such not very old trees. So it in case is useful method for the wood industry that wants to make some shortage to to use only more some more better prepared, better quality trees and less quality of worse health when you agriculture the wood. It will be removed to keep the forest more healthy. So this is the this is the one, and if you use mostly the mix with also with that, for example, from furniture, then with especially pine and spruce, which is most common in case of Poland and way tree, we get the useful for example in high temperature to some 300 to 550 to also uh, isolated uh, the hemicellulose because lignocellulose contains cellulose, lignin, and hemicellulose. So only we have left the lignin fracture. The oil fraction after this HDL is most part of this HDL hydrothermal liquid in case of wood waste. And gas is minor, which can be used to some more gases, fuels. So this mixture by water from 250 and 550 degrees is most useful. Uh, there is can be mixed also with other like sludge and other algas that can shift to more fracture gases or liquid. It's much contain much of polysaccharides. These polysaccharides can also give some material that can be useful uh, for medicine, like some simple glucose and some material from like ethanol, some acids that can be used to cosmetic, like for example, mm, um, heptanoic acids or uh, mm, citric acids, and this is very in case of biowaste there is of wood there is quite big content of aromatic compounds, so it's very good for production of phenols, benzenes, which are very useful in chemistry conditions. and for medicine is more useful different aliphatic carbohydrates like maltose or um, like maltose and and this is the advantage of such wood waste and vanillin also in case of from hemicellulose can be produced. Uh, it's very important is hexadecanoic acid, which is also used in pharmaceutical industry. There are still much analysis like in other phytocompounds that how can be used, and this is the end. So thank you very much. Uh, thank you.